Hello everybody, back again with this Pollarded Willow fusion project. I've just pulled it out of the pond. As you can see, it's been going a bit crazy, rooting out all over the place, and seems to have been quite happy. Not too much in the way of dieback. Still the odd dead piece here and there, which is going to be quite difficult to get out. Still a few gaps, and obviously more gaps the further up we go. So what I'm going to do, I don't want to disturb this tree in the pot if I can help it. I want to leave it as it is. So I'm going to try and get these weeds out of the middle. Hopefully you can see that. Some sort of, I'm not entirely sure what that is. Pond creature maybe. So just get some of that debris out. The water level has been right around here somewhere. So there's some debris to be got rid of. No real sign of any fusion as yet. Well, I wasn't really expecting it this soon in the process. And certainly this being a pollarded willow and the top being fatter than the bottom, I was expecting gaps at the top which will need to be filled in later with side shoots. What I'm going to do is try and fill in a couple of these gaps. So I have some more cuttings which I'm going to try and place in here, but because I don't want to disturb the roots too much, what I'm going to try and do is, I have a piece of bamboo and I'm going to just try and make a hole in the soil just there, if I can, which isn't as easy as it seemed. There. So I have me a nice little hole, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these pieces of willow that's growing quite nicely. I'm going to cut it off just above a bud, or a shoot in this case. I'll just trim that just below that bud, take off some of these shoots. And hopefully find the hole that I've just made. There. That will go in, and because it's sitting in the pond in the water, I'm hoping that will root quite quickly. I think I can probably get a second one in there. These will hopefully shoot from the base. These are going to be part of a fusion project next year. Hopefully, as I say, these will survive being just placed in like this. Can I find the same hole again? Yes, is the answer. So I'm not going to tie these in at this point. They may not root. If they don't root, they can be easily pulled out without disturbing the rest of the tree. So again, I'm going to try and make a hole here. I think there's possibly quite a solid root mass in there. So let's take that one. Again, just trim it back. Don't need to be too fussy with willows. They root just for sport, really. So again, they sat in there. I'm not going to tie it in until possibly later in the year. Just going to let that shoot, and then I'm going to let that root. I just realised what I just said. Let that root, and then hopefully that can be tied in to fill in some of these gaps up here. And the same with these. For now, that's realistically all I'm going to do. It's pretty much closed up all the gaps there, and then I'm just going to trim all of these back just a little, in the hope that I'll get some more branching that can then be tied in at the top. What I might do is the same as I did last year, which was to do a full leaf prune in midsummer, which gave me access to obviously all of the stems, which meant it was nice and easy to tie them in, or relatively easy to tie them in. Nothing's ever 100% easy, is it? How boring would life be if everything was easy? Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's going to go back in the pond. Hopefully those extras that I've added in will root, and possibly this year we may get a bit of fusion here at the base. We'll see. Okay, so if you remember, I also was doing another one. This is a more standard twisted trunk style. Again, I had a lot of dieback, as you do sometimes get with willows on this one in particular, and I don't know how well you can see, there's not as much root growth on this one, and quite a number of gaps have opened. I've actually unwired all of these and allowed them to grow a bit more freely, and I'm hoping that they will respond well, and I can actually get them tied in using the same process of a total leaf prune midsummer, and allowing me to tie everything in. I'm going to do the same with this to fill in a few gaps. So again, it's just a question of making a hole and putting in some cuttings. Now I could have separated the whole thing and placed these cuttings in, roots and all, but I think what I'll gain from doing that, in terms of having rooted cuttings going in instead of cuttings with no roots, I would lose by disturbing all the roots. So it swings and roundabouts. I've chosen to do it this way. Other people might choose a different path. I don't think either path is right or wrong. This one feels right to me. So Sometimes you just go with what feels right. But knowing how readily willows root, I don't really think I'm going to have too much of an issue if it stays wet, which, as I say, this is going to live in the pond and fertilised by fish poop and whatever else that falls in the pond. I'm not sure what's under there. Looked like a big rock. I know there aren't any big rocks in here, so it's either a larger root, maybe a piece of the metal. Anyway, I'm going to continue doing this. You get the picture, and I'll pop them back in the pond, and we'll come back and revisit in the summertime. Thank you for watching.